y'all. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle, and this is the Belle Perspective. And today we are going to be reviewing Ready to Love, the second part of the reunion, Ready to Love Miami. I don't know why we did a second part because it was really boring, but we're here. We're here. We're here, and we're gonna talk about it anyway. Okay, but before we get into, got a couple housekeeping items I've got to cover with you. Let's get into that first. All right, y'all already know this is a growing channel and I need your help. If you have not subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. If you have subscribed, I still need your help. Go ahead and hit the like button. Get in the comments. Talk to me nice. Let me know what you think about the show, what I say, any and everything, as long as it's respectful. Get down in the comments. I appreciate the engagement either way. Even if you disagree with me, I still appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna hit the highlights for me because I really truly felt like this episode was kind of boring. It really wasn't giving nothing, and I was confused in some of the pieces, and I was just like, "What?" So you tell me if there were any parts that were confusing to you because I really was like, "What is going on here?" I don't even know. Okay, so they start. I don't even remember how the episode opens up, and y'all forgive me. I watched it twice, and I was not about to watch it again just because I was so confusion and I couldn't focus on what was happening because I was so like, what is? I was bored and okay, sorry, I won't complain. They open up and start talking about the getaway, and that was what Morgan named the getaway, but I want to call it the getaway because I think that's exactly what it was. They start talking about how it really brought out the truth and forced people to actually make decisions on who they wanted to pursue after the show. I don't know what it was, but in that entire segment, I kept looking at Andre and his leg propped up, and I was just like, I know his feet stank and sweaty in them shoes. I don't know why I kept thinking that. That was so random, but I was disgusted every time they show Andre in them shoes. Yuck. Let's start talking about the getaway. There is an heated exchange going back and forth, talking about how Tony had red flags and it really forced, she liked Lyndon, but she had issues with Tony, red flags, all these different things. Maybe I gave him too much grace. Then she talks about Marcia. This is where I was like, okay, Morgan, you being shady. You saw how Marcia and Tony were all cuddled up and canoodled at the reunion, and because you didn't like that and you still like him, you shaded Marcia. Both of them, they nuts, y'all. They are nuts. I feel like the sexual tension, the sexual chemistry, that tension there is heavy. I think that's what the problem is. Morgan says Marcia would have been a really great distraction for Tony had Marcia been at the getaway. And Marcia pipes up and says, "Listen, I'm not a distraction, boo." Now, here's where Marcia, you would have been a distraction for sure because he was all over the place trying to get it wherever he could. Okay, so it's not a compliment to try to pipe up and say that you're not a distraction. But also, Morgan is wrong because Morgan, sis, why did you say that? Why did you have to bring Morgan in? I mean, why did you have to bring Marcia into this conversation at all? If you're gonna direct your energy and your problems and your issues, direct it all towards Tony because nobody else is involved. He says no shade to you, honey, but that's really what it was, and you weren't there, so you wouldn't know. Again, I don't know why y'all are fighting over Tony. Him, that's who y'all decide to argue over. And I know that it wasn't outright arguing over Tony, but the hostility from Morgan is coming from a place of her still wanting to be. Girl, if you're gonna choose yourself, please choose yourself. Because at this point, you looking crazy. All of y'all are looking ridiculous, and it just looks dumb. They start talking about Andre and all of his triangles and rectangles and his foolishness going on. And again, all I can think about was some stank ass shoes, and I know they sweating. Tommy asked, and whatever his name is. Why am I even doing it, y'all? I'm so aggravated with this show. I'm sorry. I'm so aggravated with the. Why are we doing this? My bad. My bad. Marcia's in the back. As Andre is talking, he's giving us bullshit ass answers as to why he likes Cynthia, why he liked Jeffrey. Marcia said exactly what I've been saying this entire season. Andre stays on the surface. He does not. There's nothing deep about him. He doesn't dive deep. He doesn't try to really go there. He's very surface, very honestly, I think Andre like white women. Personally, I think he with white women, and I don't. I think he's just on this show for fame. All right, we get to Tony because I don't want to talk about none of this. I'm trying to hurry and get this done. I'm tired. This is boring. I really, if y'all can't already tell, I was bored. Tony, Mr. Lover, Lover. I don't know why anybody would ever take him seriously either. Wouldn't trust him with my dog. I'll just be honest with you. Morgan was not here for Marcia and Tony, and basically it was just making her jealous. So the entire time that Marcia was talking, in regards to Tony, whether she was defending him, whether she was just talking about, his personality and how she can handle it and understood it. Morgan was getting I felt like Morgan's face was turning like red. Did y'all see her face turning red? Like she looked like a different person. We get to the whole segment with Natasha. Now, here's where I'm kind of like, dang, y'all did not have to talk about this lady's personal business, and the lady wasn't even there to defend herself. So y'all literally dragged her sexual history out onto the curb, left it there without her even knowing about it or even being able to speak on her behalf. And I just thought that that was so cringe worthy, and I don't even know why we even allowed that to happen. Natasha gives her side of the story. She says that her and Tony exchanged numbers. And at some point, he asked her while of course, she got voted off, I think, that first night. While he was still going through the show, he asked her, "Do you want me to leave the show or the process, as they call it, because they're not supposed to break that fourth wall?" But we already know what it is. I thought that was game. Tony says, Tommy pipes up and says, "Hey, Tony, would you have left the show had Natasha said yes?" He said, "No, I don't think so. I wouldn't have. I don't know if I said that. I don't remember if I said that." You're absolutely right, because that was a game. You just said whatever you want to say so you can make sure that you get in there. So that makes me feel like y'all slept together more than once. I don't know how the conversation got to it, but Tony starts off by saying, you know the deal. You knew the deal. When you're asking a man for answers, if you're asking for a man for answers on where you stand or what your relationship is looking like or anything like that, he starts off by saying to you that you know the deal. Sis, quietly take your L and go cry in the car. Never speak to that man again, because sis, you took an L. That's the letter of the day. You took the L. That's all I have to say about that. They said Natasha told the producers that they slept together for clout. I don't Sleeping with you is not a badge of honor. I don't know how that would be a thing. Maybe she was trying to tell people that, hey, Tony is an issue here. He's sleeping with me. He's trying to get at other women. He's doing a whole lot. Y'all might want to wrangle him in. That's probably why she did that. Possibly, maybe the producers had reached out to her and asked her what was going on. Who knows? Anthony and Cynthia. Now, this is where I was kind of like, what the hell happened? What is going on? Their body language, and Z called it. My bad, Z, because I could not remember your name, so I kept calling her big haired girl in my last review. But her name is Z. Z called it. That body language. Cynthia looked like she was disgusted with Anthony. She looked like she couldn't even look him in the face. Her body was like turned. It like I know that she was so uncomfortable sitting in the way that she was sitting. It looked uncomfortable. Like if she could sit on the other side of the sofa, she would have. What the hell happened? And they did not give us straight answers. Cynthia said, there were situations where she didn't handle Anthony right, and that she's going to continue to work on herself. She realized she's emotionally unavailable, and that she's going to work on herself so that she can be great for this man. And I'm thinking to myself, it sounds like y'all not together. It sounds like you're not planning on being together. It sounds like y'all going y'all separate ways. And the answer to all the questions Tommy was asking, they kept giving us IG quotes. Just, if you have something great, you're going to have to work on it. And when you work on it, you got to work real hard, because that's how work is. And you don't feel like you're working because you're going to have to do a lot of work in order to keep it working. When you know you got something great, you got to work, 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 work. It's just like, what? Hey, what is happening? I was Marcia. Baby, what's tea? What's tea? Because this is not it. This is not it. You're not being real. You're not being real. And did y'all also catch that Andre was smiling on the other side, smiling with satisfaction? He was just like, and Andre, why you smiling? Why you smiling? You didn't even choose Cynthia. I don't know if that was some hateration. I don't know what it was, but y'all, whatever. We get to Mark Anthony and Mercedes again, y'all. I'm hopping through because some of this stuff. It's like we don't even got to talk about this. This is done. Why are y'all wasting my time? I literally I said close the remote, turned off the remote, and was like, this was a waste of my time. Do I have to watch this again to take notes? No, this is why it's so late. Mark Anthony, Mercedes herself choosing herself at the end of the episode, but she still hugged up and fooled up with Mark Anthony. Girl, if you was choosing yourself, then why you still effing on this man? Because I know you effing on him. I can clearly see that y'all effing on each other. Why are we? That was where you wasted our time. You wasted our time and yours. That's the other thing, Marcia. You talking about you got boundaries up with Tony, and that you trying to protect yourself, and you can only date him during the day. Why are you wasting your time with him? Period. Protection would be locking the door and never talking to him ever. You look foolish. You look real dumb, and all he doing is waiting till he can wear you down. Eh, This was so dumb. Anyway, the new season of Ready to Love is coming back in June. It's actually going to be on a new night. It's going to be on Thursday night, which is helpful for me because I've got Love and Marriage Huntsville, The Bell Collective that's coming back, which I haven't watched it, but I'm going to catch up so that I can review it. Why not? Why not The Bell Perspective review The Bell Collective? Duh. Only makes sense. And then there's one other show that I can't think of that's coming out. I think it's Love Mary Huntsville Bell. It makes it easier for me to break it up. So what do y'all think about that coming out on Thursday nights? I think that's all I have. I know I skipped around. I left a lot out because there just really wasn't a whole lot for me to talk about with the show, and I was a little bit bored. But anyway, that's all I've got. I tried the best that I could, y'all. I'm so sorry that I didn't give you enough zhuzh. I really tried. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And if you have subscribed, I still need your help. Please help me out. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.